Chrom Robin's Emblem Bracelet is interesting. While it doesn't look to be all that strong, there are definitely traces of very powerful skills and abilities here that shouldn't be overlooked. First up, the Emblem Bracelet provides strength, dex, and speed, all stats that offensive units love. Chrom Robin's engage attack, Giga Levin sword, is a magical attack that scales off of strength. This can be a great asset for piercing through heavily armored units as a mainly physical unit. Dragon-type classes provide a damage bonus to the engage attack based on half of their strength stat. Mystical-type classes, on the other hand, gain a damage bonus based on half of their magic stat. And lastly, flying-type classes gain a damage bonus based on their build, so the heavier you are, the more damage you do. When adjacent to a unit equipped with Lucina's Emblem Ring, you'll gain access to Giga Levin Sword Plus. This enhanced version essentially adds Lucina's all-for-one attack into Giga Levin Sword, forcing all allies adjacent to the unit to participate in a chain attack before the lightning strikes. Chrom Robin's engage skill is only active while engaged with the emblem and grants two separate abilities. First up, if the unit initiates combat, Robin also initiates a chain attack. This engage skill is much more valuable in higher difficulties as chain attacks deal a percentage amount of damage to the enemy regardless of defenses or resistances. This can pair up really well with somebody like Varsona, for example, as Varsona gets a +2 damage bonus due to his personal skill. Whenever a chain attack is initiated when he attacks, he gains +2 damage, and this is post-damage calculation, so like Alear unveils his personal skill, it gives you essentially true damage. The second ability grants the user +10 magic while engaged. Physical units with higher magic growths like Radiant Bull Warriors or Mage Knights on units like Fogado or Anna can make great use of this due to the ability to poke holes into enemies with magic or physical attacks. Dragon-type classes receive an amazing bonus in an additional chain attack from Robin, giving you 2 extra chain attacks before even considering any other backup units around. This can be very subtle, but I can't stress enough how important and huge this is for maddening mode, where some enemies are just so bulky that the only way you'll deal consistent damage to them is with chain attacks. So this one little bonus can actually have a high impact on your maddening run. On the other hand, backup type classes ensure that all chain attacks have a 100% hit chance. Don't sleep on this because guaranteed damage, if you have a high chain attack count, can be very strong, and sometimes you might miss one and get your unit killed, so this bonus does a great job of stopping that from happening. And lastly, covert type classes gain 1 additional movement range while engaged. Chrom Robin's inheritable skills are as follows. Surprise attacks allows the unit to disable the enemy's ability to counterattack if the unit engages the enemy while on a terrain that gives them a void, thanks to fog that a covert unit paired up with Corin can produce. This skill goes from a nice to have to a consistent strategy that you can utilize optimally because you can control the terrain. Next up, speed and dex 1 to 5 is a raw stat increase for 2 of the more desirable stats in the game. Having the lords in this game inherit this can greatly help out their unique skill activation while upping the speed tier of each unit. For example, Diamant can utilize both of these stats to really help out his tanking potential, allowing him to proc soul more often while being fast enough to avoid doubles. Sword guard 1 to 5 decreases damage received if enemies are equipped with a sword, up to 5 damage at max rank. Charm increases chain attack accuracy to 90% whenever the unit triggers the attack. This doesn't really seem worth the SP cost to me just because 80% to 90% is not that big of a statistical difference, especially since everybody has the ability to rewind time if something goes wrong. And lastly, one of the best inheritable skills for any supportive units, Rally Spectrum and its upgraded variant provides adjacent units with a +3 to all stats for 1 turn, and at maximum upgrade can provide this buff to all allies within 2 spaces of the unit. Chrom Robin's engaged weapons are as follows. The Emblem Levin sword is a bit different than the normal Levin sword, providing 10 might, 80 hit, and 8 weight, while the normal Levin sword has 13 might, 85 hit, and 11 weight. Less damage for less potential speed penalty. This sword also scales off of magic and can attack at 1 or 2 range. Emblem Thoron is not like normal Thorons in engage. This Thoron has 14 might, 65 hit, 10 crit, and 7 weight compared to the normal tome which has 18 might, 70 hit, 0 crit, and 16 weight. The engaged Thoron also do not have the double attack restriction like normal Thoron and cannot attack at 3 range. And lastly, the Falchion, a dragon effective sword with 13 might, 80 hit, 10 crit, and 12 weight. To compare, Lucina's parallel Falchion has 10 might, 80 hit, 5 crit, and 10 weight. I keep hearing from the community that this ring is sort of mid. And sure, looking at the weapon it can seem that way, but considering the engage skill and some of the inheritables, and even the stat line that this bracelet provides, I personally think Chrom Robin are pretty good. Sure, they're not game-breaking like Linz's emblem ring, but provides a great set of tools for mixed damage units and more frail or supportive units. Thinking about it now, the bracelet may even work well on my Chloe Martial Master build as well, due to the plus 10 magic while engaged and the crit multiplier increase, and also the counter attack disable from being in a void terrain. If you're interested in learning more about this build, there should be a widget on the top right of the video, and if you're interested on a more detailed analysis, definitely let me know in the comments below. Another thing that really stands out to me is the bonus from other half when used by dragon type units. 2 chain attacks in maddening, as I mentioned before, is extremely valuable, and alongside access to rally spectrum, this ring seems like a no-brainer for somebody like Alir or Vale. Vale especially having already great mixed damage potential with her exclusive dagger and tome, and she's generally more frail, so she wants to be in the back lines anyways. A sample build for Vale would be upgrading her exclusive dagger with the Academy, Fates, or Rivals engraving to get that extra crit rate, and having her inherit Canter and Quality Time, allowing her to initiate for chain attacks, then disengaging into cover while healing adjacent allies. These 2 skills together are overall low cost, with the basic version of both skills costing a total of 1,250 SP. This build would also be effective on Alir, but Alir lacks good magic ropes to make use of the Emblem Thoron or Levin sword while engaged. Another alternative option is on a backup unit who can initiate at longer range, like let's say with a longbow or something. If you have something like a 9 or 10 chain attack count, turning this into guaranteed damage is no joke and can make a pretty big difference in maddening difficulty. Somebody like Fogado, Alcris, Anna, or Etia can probably make great use of this, especially Fogado and Alcris, who can benefit from the Emblem Bracelet's added dex to proc the exclusive skill back at you, and Luna. With that said, what are your thoughts on Chrom and Robin's Emblem Bracelet? Do you think they're any good compared to all the other crazy emblemings you get access to in this game? Are there any fun tools that you'd like to try out for a crazy build? Let us know in the comments below. If you're having a good time, be sure to leave a like, and if you're interested in more Fire Emblem engaged content like an Emblem Veronica overview video or something, wink wink, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you won't miss a drop from me. Thanks. As always, I'll be hosting a community relay trial event every Friday around 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This is hosted in the form of a community post on my channel where anyone can participate by submitting their relay trial codes in the comments. No matter where you are, we can all work together to earn awesome rewards like permanent stat boosters. If you have weaker units or feel like you can't contribute, no worries, there are a lot of us who will be glad to help you join in on the fun. My favorite part of it is trying different units that people have built up and seeing all the different builds that exist. I'll also be submitting my own codes as well with the Martial Master Chloe build deployed, and if that's something you want to try, be sure to turn your notifications onto all so that way the post is pushed to you when it drops. If you're interested in more fun build ideas, check out this somewhat unorthodox build that makes use of Cupido's unique class skill back at you. Video on screen right now. My name is Varsona, and I'll see you in the next video.